What is poppin', people? You got J Bear here, bringing you all LTM Week 1 going up against Tony. And yeah, I'm super excited to be bringing you all LTM. You can see I dusted off some of these old graphics. Really want to show you guys some tip-top quality here. We got some nice little graphics so that we can display the team in a more professional manner. But yeah, with all of that being said, I just would like to ask that you please leave a like and subscribe. It makes me really happy to see this meaningless number go up, but it's not meaningless because it means something to me, you know? But I super hope that you guys are enjoying this, and I hope you guys like these graphics, that you're able to hopefully better follow along with these team builders that I do. I know sometimes I kind of maybe lose some people at those, and I hope that this is no longer going to be the case. But yeah, before we get into the matchup and team, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the mock crew, Clies, Who, and PokeLee. Thank you so much for the mocks. And then shout out, a little bit of an overdue shout out to Odin for helping me with the drafting, really just helped me down the right pathway with this Mienshao. And then a shout out to Tony as well, our opponent, who was able to pass me a nice Mienshao image for our thumbnail last week. And yeah, super thankful to him for helping me get that done. But with all of that being said, now we have to beat Tony. Tony's someone who we've played before. We played him in that NCP season. He was our week 1 game where we were able to kind of come back to Wi-Fi. And in that game, we came in with a dub. But I know Tony's going to be looking for his revenge, and I know that he will want it. And I think he has certainly a team where he should be capable of it, but you know, it's my job to make that not happen. We're coming off of the BBR championship. We're going to want to maintain that level of play in these next coming games. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and break down the team. As you can see, our team is on the bottom. And if you missed the draft analysis, we started off with Mienshao, moved to Tera Gyarados, who's going to be the all-star of this season, and then Hatterene, Raikou, who's going to be the worst Pokemon of the season, Rhyperior, Quillfish, Abomasnow, Bisharp, Dusknoir, and Coalossal. And then Tony's team consists of Cleaver, Meloetta, Noivern, G-Weezing, Bronzong, Gastrodon, Lucario, Raichu, Houndoom, and Thwackey. The Meloetta and the Houndoom of his can Tera, so that's something to consider as well. And then as for what I think he will do, Cleaver's really annoying for us, right? Our main form of hazard control is Hatterene's Magic Bounce, and unfortunately that just doesn't work on Cleaver. Meloetta with Tera, I think it has a few viable sets. In the mocks, Psychic, Ghost, and Fighting were faced. I also think Electric has a very solid chance of coming. All of those being something that could certainly be annoying for me. Ghost, I think, is the most annoying for my build, followed by Electric. And then we have Noivern, speedy guy. Not too much to say about a Noivern. G-Weezing, one of the best Mienshao counters. But I think I've constructed my team in a way where he shouldn't be able to afford neutralizing gas to truly annoy my Mienshao. And only could afford Levitate, which should be a bit better, just because it means U-turn, we take the helmet and we just go back to full with the Regenerator. Bronzong can be a decent Gyarados, Rhyperior check, Rhyperior mainly. And then Gastrodon can be annoying for my Gyarados. Lucario is always liable to sweep if it is able to get set up, which we're going to try our darndest to prevent. Raichu is not that good. Flying resist though. Houndoom is playable, but I don't think it's that good. If he brings the Houndoom, it means Meloetta's not tearing, and then it's really easy to deal with. And then Thwackey, I don't think, has a niche here. And then going into what we're actually doing, look at this Mienshao set, man. This is beauty. We see Choice Scarf Mienshao. I respected the Houndoom with the Choice Scarf on this thing, so we creep a Scarf Houndoom, and which I think, you know, of all of the Houndoom, Scarf Houndoom is certainly one of them. And then this EV spread lets me live Life Orb, Lucario, Extreme Speed, +2 after Rocks, and then we'll kill it back with Close Combat. We didn't really need much attack in this game. We hit our main benchmarks, which are killing Lucario, killing Noivern. Noivern, of course, with Triple Axle. Knockoff is nice for item removal, general disruption, and it should be a decent hit into Bronzong, and then U-turn, obviously, to keep up that momentum on the Weezing. think that there's a few different ways that we can definitely take this one. And I think this Mienshao is going to be a solid facilitator, and it can grab a KO or two, but I don't foresee it being that much of a killer here as much as a facilitator. It can also come in a little bit on Cleavor with this defense investment that we have here, of course. And then we have Rhyperior, which is actually the main Cleavor switch-in with this investment. And then we can Swords Dance and do a ton of damage to Tony's team, plus 2 Crunch. Should do around 70% to Bronzong, if I remember correctly. Swords Dance boosted, and then we have Stone Edge and High Horsepower. I am responsible prepping for the Thwacky with High Horsepower on this thing. You might say why. I kind of agree with that. Can't lie. Crunch at least also gives us 100% accuracy move. But plus 2 High Horsepower does a lot of damage to Gastrodon, which is something that we will hopefully be able to chip down quite efficiently through this game. We're really fast. We want to be able to outspeed Weezing, and this outspeeds Weezing with a little bit of speed in it, which I think is plausible. I don't foresee him putting any speed into the Weezing, but I want it to be at least responsible because, you know, if I come so far, you know, it takes 160 points to catch the Weezing, so 164 to outspeed it. Might as well, you know, invest another 20 to say, hey, I want these EVs to matter. But yeah, this we also have Choppleberry to help with plus 2 Cleavor close combat, and then Lucario as well if the Mienshao plan does not work, which, who knows? I think I feel pretty good about it. It was popping in the mocks, so I foresee that plan being one of our better ones. And we have Cole also, because I actually do want to remove hazards, because Cleavor obviously can set them with the Stone Axe, but he doesn't actually have a Ghost type, which is also another reason why I think Tera Meloetta is so solid. But he doesn't have a Ghost type, which means the Rapid Spin is pretty free. Power Gem and Flamethrower actually combine to do a lot of damage to everything that isn't Gastrodon, which is good because it means Gastrodon's going to want to come in, and then we can Rapid Spin on the Gastrodon and then pivot into one of our other Pokemon, which I think is a very good sequence for us to push progress. And what exactly would we want to pivot into, you may ask? Tera Flying Gyarados with the Choice Band item. And clicking Tera Blast, man, look at this. Look at his Tera Blast switch-ins. It's not great. Gastrodon should be taking a ton. I just have to like not get countered. Counter's kind of an annoying thing to happen. But if he brings Bronzong, it makes it so that I feel okay clicking Crunch, and then that shouldn't get countered, hopefully. And then Scale Shot's our last ditch move. Waterfall is certainly playable here as well as a late game lock, but we're into him because I don't foresee locking being too easy to do. I foresee this Gyarados being more of a hit and run. We try our darndest with the Mienshao into Coalossal into Gyarados sequence and figure that sequence out and be in a fantastic position long term. Obviously with the Scale Shots as just a latch stitch, mainly we want to be clicking Tera Blast. And then we have Dusknoir with the Assault Vest. This is one of our 2 Vest Mons. We're really doing our due diligence with Meloetta here. I think that's another way that we can lose. We've got Shadow Sneak, Poltergeist, Leech Life, and Earthquake. Leech Life obviously being useful for base typing Meloetta. Earthquake giving us some nice kills on Raichu and Lucario. Poltergeist doing some really solid damage, especially if Meloetta Terras and Houndoom doesn't come. And then Shadow Sneak is really, really nice, especially if he's like a Ghost or Psychic Meloetta. Does like 40 to that thing, which is very, very attainable. And we're able to hopefully put that in range. And this thing can also take, you know, emergency hits from like Noivern in a pinch or like Bronzong as well. So we've got a lot of things going for this Dusknoir. And then lastly, we have Hatterene with the Modest Nature, just a little bit of special attack EVs to be able to, you know, snipe Gastrodon with a Giga Drain with all of this speed that we're using to actually catch Gastrodon. As you can notice on this build, I did kind of go pretty aggressive with my speed creeps here, just because there's a lot of targets that were within range of a very doable speed creep. Same thing, it takes 80 points to get above Gastrodon, but I could foresee him actually putting a little bit of speed on Gastrodon, because if Gastrodon can outspeed Rhyperior, that's really good for him. His Gastrodon won't outspeed my Rhyperior, but he might put on like, you know, 25, like 24 or 32 speed. I believe we have enough to cover like 20 speed, so hopefully it doesn't put that much more. And then we just Giga Drain that thing. Mystical Fire for Bronzong Psychic does really nice damage to the rest of the team, and then Nuzzle for Meloetta, because no matter what, we aren't really doing a shit ton of damage to Meloetta, but Nuzzle plus Mystical Fire puts it in a decent place to kind of hopefully deal with it with the rest of our team. Nuzzle's very, very clickable here, because Gastrodon should be pressured out, so we can kind of just easily click Nuzzle. And yeah, that is our squad. I hope you guys enjoyed this team builder, and I will see you all in the battle. Peace. Alrighty, and we see the battle versus Tony. This is a weird, weird team comp. No Lucario, no Cleaver. Makes things really weird, right? He brought Tera Meloetta, which would be somewhat scary if it wasn't for the fact that his like consistent rocks aren't here in Cleaver. That being said, Gastrodon and Bronzong certainly could be rockers here, but they would need to actually set them in fear of Hatterene, which is why I think it's probably Bronzong, but we have Spin either way. And yeah, we should hopefully be ready to ambush this game. Tera Meloetta, and the double flying resist means I do have to somewhat deviate from the usual game plan, which was lead of the Gyarados, but that was when both flying resists were brought in a mock versus Pokédex. I led Dusknoir and it was perfectly fine, so that's what I will do. Yeah, I'm nervous. It's week 1 of a season. I'm just like not used to the team. I'm back home recording too, so at school my setup's like, you know, I got the game up. Now the game's over here, so very, very weird for me to kind of just get back settled into, but good luck, have fun to Tony. Yeah, I went ahead and I've been playing through the DLC to get my like outfit and stuff all set, or get my Pokemon all set for the Portland Regional, and I went ahead and changed my outfit in like my Pokeball style. Okay, so I'm AV, your boots. Isn't that awesome? At the moment, going hard Meloetta would be crazy. It's probably just a G-Weezing angle for him, like you turn into G-Weez. I'm happy to just throw off a Poltergeist and see what is up with your team. Probably find out a little bit of information on an item. More than likely the Galarian Weezing's item, but chip on Galarian Weezing's fantastic. You guys know why, right? Because that's the Mienshao counter right there. We could also see Meloetta, which is a bit of an aggressive play, I would say. But I don't think Leech Life is worth playing. Oh my god, he crit me turn 1. I was like, that's a lot of U-turn. I did not think that it would have been a crit, actually. Gosh. Let's just chill out, lock back in. I've got Gloop. That's gotta be Wheezy. Oh, Gastro. That's also fine. Poltergeist. About to be attacked by your Expert Belt. Offensive Gastrodon. We knew this was a possibility, but we didn't know exactly how it would manifest. That being said, Expert Belt Gastrodon. Jeez. So, I feel like a rock move comes out here, trying to catch Gyarados or Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb would be the more unfortunate option, but I'm just going to go my Hatterene way, like I have been doing, try to, you know, pressure the hazards out of him. Maybe this lets too much chip manifest itself onto my Meloetta checks, but especially with it being Tera Ghost, but it means knockoff Mienshao in the endgame can definitely do its thing a little bit better, so yeah, feels weird. Alrighty, what are we gonna see from Tony's end? The Expert Belt Gastrodon's like throwing me for a loop, you know? Icy Wind? Okay. Speed Drop, that's fine. Now, you surely don't let me Giga Drain you, right? Surely you don't let me Giga Drain you. I feel like a Nuzzle's fine, or a Mystical Fire. I like the Nuzzle trying to catch out like an aggressive Meloetta play, which is definitely something he could do, or more than likely just Bronzong. And it is just Bronzong. Yeah, and we just go ahead and Nuzzle this thingy. Get it paralyzed. I could be a baller and stay in. Staying in gets me exactly, like, nothing. I could go Gyarados. Gyarados would be a free crunch turn, probably. I I feel like Gyarados Crunch is pretty good, right? Other option would just be Mystical Fire, trying to like catch him rocking on me. But I like Gyarados Crunch. I think it's actually pretty good to get some damage across early is the idea behind it. And I feel like, you know, Bronzong doesn't threaten Hatterene with like enough damage to where I think Rocks is a safe click from him. That being said, it totally could happen, but I feel like that's too risky of a play for my taste. Flash Cannon, yep. 40 points of damage, and no Spadefter. So I could just throw out a Crunch here. Hits like everything that would want to come in on this, right? Like, yeah, do I want to Tera or not? You know, I actually enjoy kind of my water typing for a little bit, right? Like, I got nothing wrong with staying a water type. Crunch just gets like kind of caught by Wheezing, but I feel like that's kind of an aggressive play when I have my Mian Xiao. And like a Tera Blast flying would smoke it. Carlum, that's definitely the Wheezing, man. I could have just tried to smoke. I assume we're seeing a Rocky Helmet here. No, Black Sludge. That's actually really good for me. The play on this thing, we always have a Colossal, and we can get rocks. Isn't that awesome? Unless he T-Spikes. If he T-Spikes, we'll just spin them away. But I feel like that's kind of a wacky play. Yeah. We just gotta mark damage where damage is due, right? Like, maybe a Tera Blaster wasn't too aggressive, because like if I'm bringing my Gyarados in on Zong, I feel like that's something you gotta like fear. Like his Wheezing either needs to be like hyper tailored. Well, like any Wheezing will beat Mian Xiao, right? So he could have like made like a hyper tailored Wheezing for. Okay, he doubles on me. What do we see? Meow Wow is the Mellow. Hello, Mellow. Kind of scary. Kind of scary indeed. Look for Hat or Dusknoir. I think a Shadow Ball comes out no matter what. Dusknoir is definitely the more expendable one, and I get the Frisk actually. And that Frisk is pretty nice. And it would block like any Relic Song shenanigans as well, which, you know, something to note. I don't think that's the set here, but Choice Scarf, good to know. U-turn. Alright. Choice Scarf Meloetta is not one of the scariest Meloettas. So definitely caught a break with that one. Whew. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good Meloetta overall. Let's see what exactly Mr. Tony wants to do here. I feel like it's probably the Gastrodon again. Does Dusknoir learn a grass move? My gut says no. I could have definitely looked into that. But let's see. What do you want to do, Tony? Because like he low-key doesn't pressure this Dusknoir that well. Yeah, Gastro comes back out. You saw my play was Hat last time. I'm gonna do Gyarados this time. You see me? You see in this? This is some high octane gameplay right here. We shouldn't die to anything. Like Stone Edge, you get like intimed, so I feel like it's fine. Earth Power. Oh my god. Eat 'em up, eat 'em up. So we saw Wheezing was your play last time. And like also just getting like Tera Blast flying damage off on things, very, very good to do. This Gastrodon might be in range. Like he might not be ready for this. But yeah, Wheezing that's like tailored for Gyarados. Oh, he might know that I'm banded if he. Let's see how it depends how hard he's calcing. But also my like willingness to crunch last time maybe makes him wonder. Also, he stayed usual mellow, so he's not spin blocking yet. So he's probably just okay. Looks like he is staying in. He might just get smoked by this. I think he might just get smoked by this, especially if he's developing, assuming like it's more of an offensive oriented EV spread. Tera Blast, let's go. Oh, on a sliver. Don't be countered. Don't be countered. Ancient power. Okay, never mind. I have like nothing to fear. That does like decent damage, but not like... Oh my, yeah, it's a crit. Okay, no boosts. Let's just get that Terra Blast off. I assume you sack. No real reason for this Gastrodon to stay around. I guess it can come in on Coal and recover, but like... I feel like it's hard to do, you know? He does have like free-ish pivot into Bronzong, but I still feel like kind of a weird scenario for him. Terrible. Okay. First blood of the season goes to Gyarados. Isn't that awesome? We're actually like one of the last week 1 games to be played, so it's not the first blood of the season, but it's our first blood across any matches that we play, both on our Pokemon and on our opponents that we played. And Gyarados is him. Like, you know, if the season ended here, Gyarados 100% of my kills. And honestly, I can see it. Not in this matchup, obviously, but Noivern, low key, do you kill me? I assume probably, right? Just go hat, right? Like, he like doesn't threaten my hat too much. Like, low key though, that might have been like a livable hit for my Gyarados. If I like just open up a calc. No, because I'm only like HP and Draco's a strong move. Probably not a livable hit for my Gyarados. Hurricane, even better for me. I'll throw out a Misty. I assume Zonger comes in off of a U-turn. Yeah. Quick little Misty Fire action. And if it's Bronzong, I will just, yeah. I'm just gonna Mystical again. Off of like a potential... That does like decent damage. It's attack drop, and you're special, and I'm AV. So I'm just fine to Mystical again. And if he rocks, perfect. Perfect scenario. And I think, you know, he might Panic Rock. Panic Rocks would be incredible. You know, obviously, 1 rock on a Magic Bounce. That's like exactly why Hat's here. And I didn't even envision it for this, but you know, our main Giga Drain target is dead. Now we're just fully in on the Meloetta stopping plan, and Terra Ghost means knockoff. We'll revenge it. So I feel like you do just want to, like, I don't know. It's always hard, you know, sitting in front of that Magic Bounce Mon wanting to make that call, but I'm the Magic Bounce Mon, and I'm actually making your call for you. You're going to rock. You are going to rock. You just want to rock. Now there's attack drops. Like, the Flash Cannon bounces off regardless. Okay, you just Flash Cannon. That's fine. That does nothing. It's gonna say, like, what? That's incredibly little damage. Like, I'll just Misty again. Right? Like, Hatterene 1v1ing a Bronzong. What a time. Our, pretty quick hat, too. But, obviously, doesn't matter. We can just drop the Bronzong. It doesn't matter because we killed the things that we needed to outspeed with it. And now, he's got Noivern, Meloetta, Weezing, and Raichu. That Raichu's like the X factor here because I have no idea what exactly it's planning on doing. But between my AVs, I should be able to handle it. But like, yeah, Electric plus Surf does actually look kind of clean into me. But I feel like, camera, you want to focus? But I feel like it's just hard to get going because it's just such a weak Pokemon, you know? The Chople Bear on my Rhyperior is like fully useless. Mellow. Just gonna Nuzzle. I just have to Nuzzle it. Like, not much else to be done. If you U-turn into your Raichu, well played. But yeah, just kind of a necessary evil. You let me Nuzzle this Scarf Mellow, and we are big chillin' for the rest of the game. I actually don't know if the Nuzzle matters for any speed interactions. It's a very weird build that I have. Okay, he Terras. There's no reason to Terra just to U-turn, especially with your Hazard Setters dead, in my opinion. And because this also like gives up your theoretical best like Poltergeist answer. And yeah, we should live a Shadow Ball from Scarf. Yeah, Shadow Ball comes out. We do live. God Hat. Spadef drop. You know, it's Serene Grace. I was like molding in all my mocks. I kept getting parried, but no, it's Serene Grace. It's like very, very likely to happen. And now we have Spadef Colossal, which helps out with this thing a ton. But I'm assuming, you know, with my 88 speed EVs that like a Choice Scarf Mellow would just outspeed me on my Gyarados. Gyarados, how do you guys say it? I'm 220. Meloetta, you know, like with the Choice Scarf, is like 460. I'm getting my rocks. Because that did a whole lot of nothing. It is like low-key challenging to kill this, but it's also just like weak. So I can use that to my advantage. And if I am able to knock the Scarf, we're in a really good spot. I didn't see if he dropped me, actually. So hopefully he didn't. I'm just gonna get my rocks. Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, how did I handle Meloetta and Mox? And it's just kind of like trading damage onto it. Okay, Raichu. Ryu. Alrighty. I get my rocks. And you do a very free Surf onto me. But I just have a free Dusknoir onto you. And I feel like you have to be Orb to really accomplish much. For like a weird like knockoff set. And your Magnet. Focus Blast. Buddy. I guess like Bisharp exists, but like, yeah, I'm just gonna throw off a Poltergeist. Maybe get like the last of the item information, assuming he's got like Raichu, which we know is Magnets, Noivern, which we know is Boots, Mellow, which we know is Scarf, and then Weezing, which we know is Black. So we actually know all of his items. Isn't that awesome? Makes things a lot easier to play around. We were actually able to find 5 of his 6 items from Poltergeist and Frisk, which incredible combination in Draft League. As the Raichu pivots out, I assume Galarian Weezing has to be the pivot in. That was the Galarian Weezing. And we'll go ahead and find your Black Sludge. Ah, never mind, we won't. That's unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. As Colossal is always just a free play. Free play Colossal. You know, you can double out, but do you want to? Always the question. I really need to find like an in for my Rhyperior, right? Like that guy's pretty awesome if I can get it in. That Poltergeist damage would have been really nice though. Rock Tua. Sludge Bomb. No poisons? No poisons. My goat. Alright. Is there a Flamethrower versus Power Gem reason? We just Power Gem. Flamethrower's marginally stronger, but Power Gem hits everything for neutral or better. So we just do it. Sludge Bomb. Okay. If we do this trade-off, that's really good for me. And my guy Colossal is... Hey, that's pretty good damage. Yeah, but doing this trade-off means Noivern, or means Mienshao can do its thing pretty well. So that's good. Yeah, I guess I'll just Flamethrower now because there's no way you go Noivern. Yeah, Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb's a way to hit me, man. I could have done my Gyarados thing. I guess you could be Thunderbolt too, but yeah. Burn? Nah. We don't need burns. Who needs burns? Flamethrower. Yeah. Let's go, my guy. Yeah, the poison's here, right? Like, oh my gosh, Colossal, man. This guy is awesome. I thought he was going to be awful at the start of the draft. No, he's awesome. And he went ahead and did exactly what he needed to do. 1v1 Weezing. And now Mienshao should be able to win. Alrighty. Cool. Let's go. Bah. The Wyvern. You find my boots. Yeah, if you like Draco here, you're in like a quite precarious position. I would rather go Hat though. No, I want you to drop your special attack actually. Yeah, I do. Because then I go Gyarados and I get a kill. Cool. Good deal. Colossal, you did your thing. You did exactly what I needed you to do, buddy. Rest well. Or I can go Rhyperior. Rhyperior would... With... You have Meloetta. No, I think I just go Gara. I think it's just Gara and Waterfall, truth be told, to Oko the Raichu. Or I can Terra Blast and do most of the Raichu's health. Or I can Aura Scale Shot and win the game that way, but I don't think I do enough to Meloetta with that move. Would it be fun though? The entire point of that move is to not click it, so I'm gonna go with no. I'm just gonna Waterfall on a predicted U-turn. Honestly, we were kind of nearing the Moxie Scale Shot territory if I was Moxie, which, truth be told, is pretty funny, but unfortunately is not the case, because I'm also pretty slow. So like, I know I do outspeed Raichu even after a scale. Man, I totally could have, right? But like, it's always about the could have and not about the should have. Yeah, if I'm like Gyarados with an Adamant Nature and a Choice Band, clicking Scale Shot on a Raichu. 3 hits does 81.6 to 96.5, which means 4 hits would have killed, which between the two of them would have happened. But then Meloetta becomes the problem. Yeah, Raichu, take rocks, and this Waterfall. Yeah, and the Waterfall kills. Beautiful. Gyarados picking up its second of the game. And now Meloetta comes out. The play, sacking the Hat as opposed to this Gyarados, because Gara provides a lot stronger of an offense. Surprised didn't go no wavering, but yeah. Gyarados offense far, far superior. And we can see what exactly you do want to lock. Shadow Ball. Okay. Shadow Ball lock means I should just be able to go Mienshao knock, Mienshao knock. Because you're parried. Like, Mienshao knock should be a winning pathway. I guess Dusknoir also probably would have been a winning pathway. We do definitely chew a Scarf Shadow Ball, but I want to get the first round pick some action, baby. I don't think we kill because we're like 24 attack, but yeah, we don't. We get rid of the Scarf, but we live a Shadow Ball. Oh, we don't even need to. My goat, Mienshao. Let's take a knockoff. And then might as well try to preserve the diff. I don't foresee anything bad happening because we always just come back in with this and Axel. Knock doesn't kill. Hurricane might. So yeah, I don't foresee any adverse side effects from trying to preserve my 4-0. Two team captains, Gyarados and Mienshao, doing their things here. I had a very cool Mienshao set that did not need to come to fruition, but yeah. We just go Ripe, hope that we pick them off with a Stone Edge. We might just die to Kane into Draco too, which would be kind of unfortunate, but rock on. It's like, I thought it'd be funny to name my rocks like Rock 1 and Rock 2, but instead it's Rock On and Rock 2. Okay. I'm preserving. I'm preserving. Preserve at all costs. Which might be a degen way of playing, but we're early enough in the season where you never know. BBR came down to a tie. If I had one more, it wouldn't have came down to a tie. If I had one less, I wouldn't have even been tied. So, yeah, that's math right there, right? Like, sorry, Tony, it's gonna feel like a pain in the ass, but just coming off of that BBR season where the tie didn't bite us in the ass in the end, but in these he picked me formats, I think very important to get that higher pick, right? And even though I suck at picking, like I hate it, yeah, I just needed to pull it off. Black Hole Sun. Black Hole Sun or Thought Daughter. Draco. Yeah, okay, now you're like dick damage. Okay. And Dusknoir will win this game for us. Yeah. Hurricane, gonna do 17. Confusion. Dusknoir used Poltergeist. Noivern's about to be attacked by its boots. This isn't even like a 2KO. Oh, it is, barely. Alrighty, Dusknoir. One more. One more for the family. Oh my gosh, man. I think that low tier is such a weird format. But I'm happy to move on. Happy to move on. Oh yeah, snap out of confusion. Polter. It connects. Bam, 4-0, week 1. Sorry, Tony, for dragging you out a little bit there at the end, but gotta do what you gotta do. Take your 4-0 dubs, move it on. Nice week 1 4-0 dub. Feel like it's always a bit challenging to navigate a fresh matchup with a fresh team, but hopefully these plays feel easier to come by as the season goes on. And yeah, we were able to take it. Next week we got Frito, so hopefully we can start off 2-0. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Until next time, see ya. Peace.